this, so I will discuss about monopoly and antitrust policy. So we have four types of monopoly and antitrust policy, but my governments will report that. So first, corporate mergers. Second, regulating anti-competitive behavior. Third, regulating natural monopolies. And the last is the great deregulations experiments. First, that competitions by providing can dramatically lower average cost, and the third, that markets in the real world are rarely perfectly competitive. As a consequence, government policymakers must determine how much to balance the potential benefits of large-scale productions against the potential loss of competitions that can occur when business grow in size, especially through mergers. Yeah. This is all about the introductions of monopoly and antitrust policies. I will discuss it to you. An antitrust policy. Monopoly, a market controlled by one seller with a good or service that has no close substitutes. Evil competitive market like street foods that exactly capital competitions. When we see antitrust policy, I have example about this attitude as I know and observe the easy business for monopoly like in the Philippines. Street foods when you see start business. These are a lot of competitions about this business. The point is you cannot trust anyone because they build also this kind of business because of their earning and demand of students. They have all profit maximizing quantity, profit maximizing price, total revenue, elastic range of the demand curve on the results of your monthly result. So the two companies agreed that merger would benefit consumers who would be able to purchase better telecommunication service at a cheaper price because the newly created firm would take advantage of economies of scale and eliminate duplicate investments. We will know about this when my governments discuss or continue this about monopoly and antitrust policy.
Good morning, classmate. I am Jamaica M. Ravas, the reporter of this topic, regulating anti-competitive behavior. At the end of this section, you will able to analyze restrictive practices, explain time sales, bundling, and predatory pricing. Restrictive practices. So what is restrict practices? Example of restrict practices is company of motorcycle. So for example, ako nangutang ko og motors sa company sa motorcycle. So naadjud ko'y by doon every month. So na ako'y 1 month na wala na ako nabaydan. So na ako right na manghangyo sa manager na gaan ko niya og 2 months or 3 months na para pangitaan na ako na makabayad ko. So, ang manager po is gaan kong limitation na kanang 3 months dapat makabayad ko. Kung dili ko makabayad ana na bulan, naipuruhan na kuhaon nila ang item. So, dira pud nimo makuan kung good buyer ba ka or loyal ka na client. So, restrictive practices are things that limit the right of a person like being able to move. Minimum resale price maintenance agreement. So, example of that is online seller. So, as a reseller, so naagid ko supplier. So, ako, nagumpra ko og tap sa akong supplier. So, ang hatag sa akong supplier is 130. So, ang akong kuhaon is 10. So, as a reseller of the supplier, ang matag, nagkuha ko og 10 pesos. So, ang gihatagan ko niya og price sa tabs na tag 90 na lang kalikuha. Ang gikuha na ko is 10 pesos. So, sa akong suppliers is nakakuha ko minimum price or discount sa ako ang supplier. So, minimum resale price maintenance agreement is an agreement that requires a dealer who buys from a manufacturer to sell for at least a certain minimum price. Exclusive dealing, for example, is appliances. Exclusive dealing, it's all about focusing in one product. Exclusive dealing as an agreement that dealer will sell only a product in one manufacturer. Tying sales. So, for example of tying sales is personal collection. So, kung ako example na magpamimbro sa personal collection is sa tanan pa ko nilaan na og item na nagkantidan og 1.5. So, katong item, ako to siya ibaligya. So, kung mahurot na to siya nagkantidan og 1.5, so pwede na ako makaproceed of another product. So, tying sales, a situation where a customer is allowed to buy one product if the customer also buy another product. Bundling or bundle. So, example of bundling is ukay-ukayan. So, kanang mga sa ukay-ukayan is kumpara na sila og bundle-bundle. Like bundle sa jeans, tops, or pantalon. So, bundling, a situation in which multiple products are sold as one.
So let's proceed the corporate merger. So, why would a merger happen? When one company and another company see each other as mutual beneficial, they can both engage in merger talks to form a united company, working together with both their assets under a similar or new name as a new entity. When one company is significantly larger than the other, generally this becomes an acquisition, where the larger company offers to buy a smaller company. When a merger occurs, both company becomes a new company. Together, the stocks of both company merge into the new stock and are reissued. For acquisition, the smaller company stocks or the one being both stocks being traded and stock owners receive a number of shares for the larger company based on the term of the acquisition deal. Here are some examples of corporate merger. First, the Walt Disney Company and Pixar Animation Studio. In 2006, the Walt Disney Company acquired Pixar Animation Studios for $7.4 billion. The merger brought together of the most successful animation studios in the world, allowing the Disney to expand its animation capabilities and access Pixar's cutting-edge technology. The merger was successful in terms of financial performance as the combining companies increased significantly in the years following the deal. It's also produced some of the highest grossing animated movies at all time, including Toy Story 3.
For firm concentration ratio, which is the percentage of industry sales that come from the 4 largest firms. Here's the formula. So let's start with the denominator down here. The denominator is the total industry sales. So if you have an industry with 100 firms, you're going to add up each one of those firms' sales, and that's what you'll put in the denominator. In the numerator, we have these S subscript terms, S subscript 1 through S subscript 4. These S's represent the firms in the industry that account for that have the 4 largest sales. So example 1, we have a 7-firm industry, firm 1 through 7, and here are the sales in millions of dollars for those firms. So let's calculate the 4-firm concentration ratio. So the denominator here, 101, is just the sum of all these numbers, 20 plus 40 plus 15, all the way through the 7th firm. So these 7 firms have a total of 101 or $101 million in sales. The next, we're going to find the firms that have the 4 largest sales. So 20, 40, 15, and 10. Those are the firms with the 4 largest sales. So adding those numbers up, we get 85 divided by 101, or 0.842. This means that the 4 largest firms in this industry account for 84.2% of total industry sales.
So at this juncture, I will continue the discussion. My topic is all about the Great Deregulation Experiment. The United States carried out the Great Policy Experiment. The deregulation discussed in monopoly removing government controls over price and quantities produced in airlines, railroad, truckings, intercity, bus travel, natural gas, and bank interests. So, at this moment, at this juncture, some of the government should control the overprices or overprices and quantities from the given of the topic, just like that from the airlines, railroads, truckings, intercity bus travel, natural gas, and bank interests, because the government wanted to not to make some higher or a overpriced and quantities in every uh, aspect. What are the result of airline deregulations? As are the result of the regulation barriers to entry into the airline industry for a potential, especially a new airlines, decreased significantly, resulting in many new airlines entering the market, those increased competition. So, ang diri pod nga side is when some new airlines implement, they also some increase kanang mga significant o unsay kanang mga kuan, and then some of the airlines can entering a market, those increasing competition. The effect of the regulations. The regulations, both of airlines and other industries, has its negative and greater pressure of competition lead to entry and exit. When firms went bankrupt or contracted substantially in size, they laid off workers who had to find other jobs. In the regulations, there has also a negative vibes and a greater pressure when it comes to running in the some industries, especially in our economy. And when and when workers can find the kanang murag kana ganin, if they are not if they are not satisfied in the work that they get, naapod sila time to get and to find another job. So that is the effect of the regulations. Sarbanes-Oxley Act. In 2002, the government designed Sarbanes-Oxley increased confidence in financial information provided by public corporation, protect investors from accounting fraud. So, in 2002, Sarbanes-Oxley designed this kind of act to have a increase in confidence financial informations, especially also providing some public kanang gani mga public informations, and they wanted also to protect some of investors, uh, and they wanted to kanang ganing ipalayo nila, especially sa mga account fraud. Dodd-Frank Act. Majority attempted to reform the financial system. The legislation's purpose, as noted on Dodd-Frank, is so all market-based economies operate against a background of laws and regulations, including laws about enforcing contracts, collecting taxes, and protecting health and the government. So all market has a market-based economist, which is kanang diri naga uh, diri usually nakita or makita ang kanaganing mga something kalihukan, especially sa atong economists. Also including here the mga laws about enforcing contracts, collecting taxes, and protecting health and the government.